Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Eric Levine, and this week it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you aboard the newest flagship in the BENETEAU motor yacht line. A veritable castle in the water whose autonomy, range, livability, and timeless style will unlock the adventures that you've been dreaming about for so long. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the new Grand Trawler 63. It's pretty cool because this week we're going to do what this boat was meant to do, which is a long, comfortable cruise. In this case, we left Monfalcone, Italy, near Venice, where the boat was built, down the coast of Croatia, around the heel of Italy, through the Strait of Messina, all the way to Rome, and across to Bastia, Corsica, where we are today. We'll spend a few days here talking about what makes this boat so remarkable, and then we'll take her over to the French Riviera and deliver her to her happy new owner. Let's start with a little bit of history. You're probably all familiar by now with the BENETEAU brand, which last year celebrated 140 years of boat building excellence. You're probably also familiar with the Swift Trawler range, which was launched in 2003 and is slowly but surely clicking towards 2,000 boats delivered to owners all the way around the world, making it the best-selling trawler range of all time. Today, the range spans 5 boats, from the exciting new Swift Trawler 37 to the flagship, the Grand Trawler 63, the longest, widest, heaviest, and most spacious boat the brand has ever built. It replaces the Grand Trawler 62 by bringing modern technology, modern styling, upgraded build practices and materials, and a myriad of other small innovations, all the while keeping that trawler DNA that's made it so successful. I'll tell you right away, I love this boat. And what I love most about this boat is the sheer livability of it, the comfort of it. And to understand the comfort, you have to understand the space, both inside and outside, starting with this expansive terrace on the sea, which is a common feature on all modern BENETEAUs. The terrace on the sea has an optional third joystick and can be fitted with just about any kind of seating arrangement that you want, but nobody will blame you if you want to put a ping pong table there. There's enough room for it. It leads to this gigantic tender lift system, which also doubles as a swim platform and the base for all waterborne activities. From a technical point of view, you'll find the water and power intakes right there, as well as the optional passerelle. The feeling of space continues along these lovely, wide, teak-covered side decks that also feel very, very safe. On the port side of the boat, you have quick and convenient access to the galley, and here on the starboard side of the boat, you have quick and convenient access to the lower helm. Despite its size, this boat was designed to be double-handed, and it's actually kind of useful to be able to pop away from the lower helm, adjust a line, grab a fender, or wave goodbye to the fuel dock attendants. You won't have to do much of that, but we'll get to that subject a little bit later. This is also a great place to come at night, double check what's on the horizon, or take a nice look at the stars. I like to think that if the aft section of the boat is the terrace on the sea, this is the balcony on the sea. You're so high above the water, you really feel like you're the master of the marina, the master of the surroundings. Here, you're gonna find one of the easiest and most practical anchor setups that I've ever seen on any boat, ample storage everywhere, and a lounge setup that's going to strike a debate amongst your family and friends. What is the best seat in the house? This is a strong contender, but there is fierce competition coming from the flybridge. Let's take a quick moment now and go to the heart of the ship and check out the engine room. Welcome to the heart of the ship. Now, the skipper cabin and the engine room can both be accessed through a stylish gull-wing hatch, which is cleverly and neatly tucked into the aft section of the boat. Underway, of course, for safety, you can also access this space through the day access hatch in the terrace on the sea. Now, too often on a boat this size, the skipper cabin really is more like a skipper crawl space. It's dark, it's cramped, it's uncomfortable, it's unpleasant. Not on the Grand Trawler 63. As you can see, this beautiful cabin has tons of room, tons of storage, a great L-shaped setup with 2 beds that are big enough even for a guy like me. And if you think we went for a wet head setup on this boat, well, you're wrong, because not only it's got a very comfortable and dedicated head section, it's got a really nice full shower size as well. I say this in every video, but never for the skipper cabin. I'm 6'4", 220 pounds, and look at how much room I've gotten here. The engine room is huge. It's big enough to have an echo, though of course it's been extensively soundproofed. You do need a lot of space though to accommodate these workhorses. Twin MAN i6 730 diesels with straight shafts, which have the best power to rate ratio on the market. And combined with these fuel tanks, it allows the Grand Trawler 63 to have one of the best ranges on the market today. More than 1,000 nautical miles at 9 knots with a 10% fuel reserve, which is more than twice some of our competitors. This is what I mean when I tell people that you're not going to be seeing your fuel dock attendant much. For a trip around Italy like we just did, if you're going 8 or 9 knots, one refill is enough. Now, let's start these puppies up and go for a boat ride. Well, we've just rounded the northern tip of the island of Corsica, and the boat is behaving beautifully and very happily here at a cruising speed of 9 knots. A modern piece of technology that's been added to this new Grand Trawler 63 are the Sleipner stabilizer fins, which now come part of the standard equipment on this boat. I get pretty excited when I talk about the Sleipner fins, and I could go on about them for quite a bit of time. But basically what you have to remember is that they are much lighter than a conventional gyroscope. They are also much better priced. It's a much simpler system which can be operated at the flick of a switch. There's no load time. There's also no water intake, which means there's no risk of sucking in a piece of debris and having to disassemble the entire boat to fix or replace the gyroscope. And they're pretty smart too. They have adaptive intelligence, which means that they can anticipate the movement of the wave before the wave actually hits the boat. You can deploy one fin. For example, if you're at a T-dock and there's a little bit of motion, you can deploy one fin to keep the boat stable. So there's a million reasons why this modern technology has been incorporated onto this boat. And the best thing about it is that it just works. So we're a few miles away from our destination here, which is the port of Saint-Florent. And it provides a good time to just talk about this flybridge very quickly. There are two accesses to the flybridge. One from the lower helm, which of course provides a quick and easy link between the upper helm and the lower helm, and then one in the aft section of the boat from the terrace on the sea, which is pleasantly configured with sturdy handrails and T-cap stairs that are just the right size, not too big, not too small. When you get up to the flybridge, the size of the flybridge hits you like a hammer. I mean, I like to make the joke that you could probably land an airplane here. And once you're past the initial shock of the actual size of the flybridge, you start to look around and you think, this is actually really, really well laid out. You have this wonderful helm station here with perfect ergonomics, a great place to discover an anchorage or a harbor. And then you have miles of seating everywhere across the flybridge, including this lovely romantic nook just forward of the helm where I like to sit and watch the sunset. Let's take a look back here. The midsection of the flybridge is a great place to entertain, but also to eat. You have this gigantic table that's large enough to comfortably sit 8 people. And just across from it on the starboard side, you have this lovely work surface, which is the best bar I've ever seen. Complete, of course, with a Texas-style grill that's large enough to cook a bunch of T-bones. On too many boats, you see a grill like this, and it's just big enough for 4 shrimp. This thing, it really can feed a whole crew with enough leftovers for the next day. You have an optional fridge, ice maker, but of course, these kinds of areas can be customized just any which way you want. So a quick word about the T-top configuration. Basically, you have 3 choices. You have the standard T-top, you have the convertible T-top like this one, and then you have the silent boat T-top, which is covered with solar panels and allows you under certain circumstances to run your systems in complete silence without using the generator. And then you get to the aft section of the flybridge, which is a space for you to define. Would you like to use it as seating? Good idea. You want to use it as kayak or paddleboard storage? Great idea. You want to use it as a dance floor? Even better. Recently, I was up here with 14 people drinking champagne, and everybody had their own bubble. Everybody had their own space. This is what I mean when I say that to understand the comfort on this boat, you have to understand the space that it offers. All right, so we're right outside of the lovely harbor of Saint-Florent, Corsica. We're gonna pop in there, probably get a bit of lunch and a few supplies. It's about 8 knots of wind, a little bit of tide action, and while we're waiting outside of the harbor, I wanna show you something really cool about the steering system of the boat. Let's go check it out. All right, so in a situation like this where you have to kind of hang tight for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, you don't have to drop the anchor with this boat. You can press the button on the Xenta dynamic positioning system and stay safely immobile for as long as you want. It controls the thrusters, it controls the engines, and when you're ready to go, just press the button again and you're back with the throttles. There's something immediately obvious about the interior arrangements on this boat, and that is the knowledge of experience, 141 years to be exact. You have more than 30 square meters of space here, and it's all perfectly arranged, from the general layout down to the smallest details, details like these running handholds, like the tableware storage, or like the studied comfort of these deliciously plush seats. The comfort and space that I keep talking about over and over extends to the galley, which is a wonderful workspace to cook meals for crews big and small. Of course, you have large surfaces, storage everywhere, and a key feature is the fact that it's centrally located. Are you bringing coffee to the helm? Are you bringing champagne to the bow? Are you bringing water to the flybridge? Well, you're just a few steps away from all of those places. Now let's go take a look below. So this boat is available in a 3-cabin, 3-head configuration or a 4-cabin, 3-head configuration. In the 4-cabin configuration, this forward section of the boat becomes the master stateroom, and believe me when I tell you, it is a lovely, lovely place to be. It's got this huge walk-around bed, these large expansive windows that provide tons of natural light and ventilation. This being a swift trawler, it's got storage everywhere, and then the last nice touch is this lovely carpet that's just as soft as a chinchilla. The windows in particular are really, really great. The other day, some dolphins came to join us to play with the bow wave, and we were all here checking it out. It was an extraordinary moment. Okay, so a quick stop at the crossroads. To my right, up the stairs, is the main helm and the main salon. Below me, this hatch gives you quick access to many of the boat's systems, including some of the tanks. To my left, the portside cabin, which is currently set up with twin beds, but we can do pretty much whatever you want. We're working with a client right now who's interested in having this be his home office, and we're happy to make that happen. Lovely side head with direct connection between the portside cabin and the head. And now for your viewing pleasure, let's go check out the master stateroom. In the 3-cabin version of the boat, you will find here the full beam midship stateroom, and the volume in here is truly remarkable, even for a tall guy like me. You could be forgiven to think that you're on a boat that's 40 or 50 feet bigger than this one. As with every BENETEAU, storage was key in the execution of the layout, and you will find here room for everything. Suits and suitcases, books and boxes, boots and bottles, and everything in between. And when everything is neatly tucked and stored away, you will find yourself lying in this super comfortable bed, looking out the window at the most beautiful view in the world, and dreaming of all the destinations still to come. Now, one more thing about this master stateroom. Right now, I've got the aircon going, I've got the Sleipner fins going, I've got the genset going, and listen. The master head is pretty self-explanatory. It's big, it's beautiful, it's comfortable. All I'll say is you will never find yourself missing home. Well, the anchor's up, the engines are on. We've got about 120 nautical miles to Marina Baie des Anges, right next to Nice. It's gonna be an overnight passage, and I've got that giddy feeling of departure. All right, folks, well, we are underway, and you will notice that I'm not speaking very loud, because I don't have to speak very loud, because this is a very, very quiet place. I could call my mother right now, and she would not know that I'm heading from northern Corsica to the south of France, going nearly 9 knots and admiring a beautiful sliver of moonlight on the port side of the boat. This entirely redesigned helm station here has perfect ergonomics. Everything is where it should be, at the tip of your fingertips, and the 3 floating MFDs provide me with all the information I need to safely get from point A to point B. The captain chairs are extraordinarily comfortable, which is a good thing because you're going to be spending a lot of time sitting right here. And speaking of sitting, I was talking a little bit earlier about the debate, which is the best seat in the house. Well, for me, it's not on the flybridge, it's not on the bow. For me, the best seat in the house is right here, this day bed. Very plush, very comfortable. Lovely place to sit and watch the ocean go by, read a book, watch the moonrise. But most importantly, it's a great place to keep the captain company as you're navigating from one point to the other. All in all, this helm station is one of my favorite features on this boat. It really just works. All right, we've got the coast of France in sight, and in just a few hours, our beautiful trip from Northeast Italy will be coming to an end. I really look forward to seeing the new owner and handing over the keys of his beautiful new yacht. You know, after living on this boat for 10 days, I love her so much more. She was built with a sense of purpose that is really hard to find on modern boats these days. I guess the best way I could put it is that she's got the warmth and the honesty of a good friendship. And just like all the Swift trawlers, you also get the sense that she was built by boaters for boaters. You know, for those who live by the sea state and the weather, for those who live by the lights of dusk and the lights of dawn, for those who gratefully go off watch and gleefully come on again. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the water really soon.